Oh, did it, man. Oh, man. We down to the last days, y'all. The verdict in. We should be getting, I guess, something by today or Monday. They said they was going till Wednesday the latest. So they got until Wednesday to make a verdict on this whole Diddy trial. But let me tell you something. On this last day, Diddy lawyer went absolutely bonkers in that court, they said. I mean, he went in. He looked at the jury and told them, man, this is that they don't waste our time. This ain't got nothing to do with Rico. This got everything to do with his private life and his private relationship, this, that, and the third. Oh, yeah, it's a lot to it. And I'm gonna break down a couple of clips where you got even Judge Mathis. Now, nobody don't know who Judge Mathis is. You know, he got a television show. He's one of them judge television dudes, but he really got a court. He really a judge. He come out of Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, he basically broke down how he feel about this case, and this is recently. And yeah, we're gonna go through a couple of clips. We're gonna go through the news clip, and let me tell y'all something. It's looking good on the behalf of Diddy. They might still end up getting a charge, or might still getting one of the charges out of the few that they got left on them. Because remember, I think they dropped a few charges also, but the one they're trying to keep is the transportation part with the escorts and all that, bringing them on the plane. He paying them through his company money, this, that, and the third. Allegedly, they saying all this. But if that could actually stick, that's the only charge that could actually that we see on the Fed charge. I'm not talking state charges. When we get to Judge Mathis, he's gonna break it down a little bit more clear for y'all also. Because some people that's against Diddy, not saying that, we all rooting for Diddy to come home because what he did with the hands and feet and all that, that was absolutely wrong. But the other parts of the criminal part, as the federale charges, they haven't proved that to us at all. They proved the state, I mean domestic and all this, but they haven't proven no federale charges. Besides the one they sticking with the pause with the escorts or the workers coming across the states and the airline and all this. Yeah, that part. But see, Diddy lawyer, he came back at him like, well, entertainers get paid for that. Don't porn stars get paid for that and all that? So Diddy lawyers actually barking back at him and has some very statements coming back at him on the defense for Diddy. Because he wasn't just gonna let these people just slide off the court. Okay, I get your last words and that's it. Nah, Diddy lawyer, one of his lawyers actually went bonkers in there and looked at the jury and said, "Man, y'all better think this clearly because what they brought and represent and what they presented to us in this court was absolutely a circus in here." This is nasty work, man. But smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this show started. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke Loose TV. We back in the building. Smash that thumbs up. Ain't gonna hurt your feelings. Ain't gonna cost you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Make sure that bell notification. Keep that on if you could, so you know my videos are dropping, obviously. And share the video. Shout out to Team Smoke Gang who got their membership. Make sure you try to get yours. Shout out to everybody that been supporting the channel. The banner is there if you want to support the channel. Also, Cash App. You can also donate by the thank button on the video. But let's get this copyright out the way because we got a lot to talk about, man. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for absolutely educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for absolutely educational, entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. So we got this going on, man. Diddy defense said he's a domestic abuser, but not a racketeer and a sex trafficker. Hmm. Kind of made a point on that because everything they actually presented us in court so far in this court had been nothing but state domestic violence on toxic relationship. Absolutely, that's all they presented us in this court so far. That's it. Nothing more. The court is over with. There's no more. Yo, they stacking up a case on them. Smoke. None of that. This shit is finito. It's done. The only thing they gave us was domestic problems and toxic relationships and goddamn free call private sessions and private parties that these people do for the last damn near decades that these people been doing for years. This is their private party. This state life. They could do this. They could do that. What the hell? Do the feds got the right to come and try to make it the freak off as a RICO? You can't make a freak off as a RICO if they're not selling no drugs out of there. Let me put that in the air. I sit back and wait on that. You can't charge them and put that part as a RICO if they're not selling drugs out of there. If they're not selling pills and they selling mad drugs out of there at the freak on everybody, yeah, Diddy, we loving this. They enjoying themselves. You see money getting handed. You see money getting handed to the suppliers at the free calls, at the Diddy free call. Now you talking about a RICO case here. But see, they haven't proven none of that. The only thing they proven with Mr. Paul, the white guy that was working for Diddy per hour to do everything Diddy was telling him to do as far as business and on work hour business and on cleaning up stuff, whatever. But he was getting paid per hour and he was on the payroll. But according to him, he said the drugs that he got was for personal use. So the witness that they had, Mr. Paul, the white dude from last week, whatever, the prosecutors thought that he was gonna go up there and speak a lot of crazy shit. Obviously, he didn't. He said a lot of the drugs was for personal use. It wasn't for selling. What are we talking about here? Like, what's the argue here? And then you got 50 Cent lawyer over here barking at, I mean, if I said 50 Cent lawyer, you got Diddy lawyer barking at 50 Cent baby mom. 50 Cent bark at, 50 Cent always got to tap in. Oh, nah, he wrong and this and that. Diddy ain't paying for everything, whatever. This ain't even got nothing to do with Fifth. We ain't even bringing Fifth in this situation because we all know how Fifth he want to know how to troll most of the times. So, going back to what I was saying, though. He bought that Miss Jane over there saying that, yeah, you had a weak lawyer. It ain't Diddy fault that your baby father, the father of your child, whatever, didn't set you right with child support and all that. And then when you get with Mr. Combs over here, Mr. Combs actually gets you right. He start paying for everything. He start paying for your house. He even said that the house that Miss Jane staying at, meaning 50 Cent baby mom, the Filipino lady, he's saying that the house that she's staying now, Diddy actually paying for that according to Diddy lawyer that he said in the court. Oh, we're gonna get to that. You think I'm lying? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the clips. Let's get to the news clip though, so y'all can see what's going on here, man. Because I told y'all, man, this is nasty work. I feel like Diddy only gonna get charged for one charge off that federale, off the federale, obviously. Everything else they presented us was actually garbage. It wasn't nothing. I mean, it wasn't no proof of nothing. Y'all only proved that this nigga was paying escort. I mean escorts, whatever. And I mean the fly in and all this entertainers. That's the only thing y'all proved. But see, y'all didn't prove that these entertainers actually coming without their behalf or they was getting paid and all this. Y'all didn't prove that these people. They only proved a few little documents that they was getting paid. But every entertainer get paid. And then y'all gotta remember the videos. We didn't see the videos. The jury seen the videos. So they seen Cassie participating, running around, laughing, smiling, legs all in the air, allegedly, and everything I speak on is alleged. Legs all in the air, Cassie having a great, she bugging out, having a great time. Oh yeah, the jury, they seen that. We didn't see that. So when I get to the clip and then people that's actually gonna explain it to y'all and say that on them clips, the lawyers, Diddy lawyers, was saying that, look, she was having a great time in the video. Where was her? Where was her? I don't want to be part of this no more. Where was that at? Because according to Diddy lawyer, they saying that all them videos, free call videos, on which how many they showed the juries, whatever, the jurors, whatever, they looked at it, they like, yo, listen, hold up, pause. This girl having a great time in the videos. She's not sitting back saying like, "Yo, I don't want to be part of this." She looking all sad, man. Looking when people look at them videos, they looking at the person like Cassie, the one that's claiming that she doing this, she wasn't. I mean, all this little she say she been doing. They looking at her. They focus on her in the video, and they looking at if she's smiling and she having a great time, legs all in the air, back getting blown out. Dudes over allegedly, dudes throwing all the way around. They looking at all that, and they like, yo, she having a hell of a great time. So when the juries look at that and the juries look at that part of me, when they start looking at that, you think they're just gonna come back with a verdict and say, yo, guilty on Diddy on that note? No, because she was having a great time on that note. So the only thing they could charge him with is for the flying the escorts through the airline, whatever, flying them in, the entertainers, whatever the hell they got paid for. But see, they don't got no video. They probably got videos of the entertainers. I mean, they got videos of the entertainers probably and the party also having a great time, just chilling, enjoying the day. See, it's a lot of things in the videos that we can't see until somebody link that shit to the public, and obviously the whole public gonna see it. But till then, the only people seeing that shit, it was the people in the court. I told y'all, Cassie was the worst thing they put on the stand because she took immunity and she didn't talk about no criminal shit. She talked about more about a relationship and tried to make it seem like she was against everything that Diddy was trying to tell her to do, that she was forced to do everything. No, that ain't the story. According to the videos, according to Diddy lawyer, they saying that you had a hell of a great time in them videos. Smiles from ear to ear. What we talking about here? Let's get to the video, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Pardon me, I'm under the weather a little bit. Cause this weather bipolar than the mug, I'm telling you. Hit smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know the vibes.
Defense is giving its closing argument in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, calling this a tale of two trials. They say one is about the evidence and another is about what prosecutors said, the defense calling it a false trial. Defense attorney Marc Agnifilo walked and was animated as he presented his argument. Agnifilo began by talking about Combs being a self-made man, saying he was doing DEI in 1993 as a 24-year-old by himself. Agnifilo questioned the charges, asking jurors, "Are you kidding me about racketeering enterprise? Did any witness say, yes, I was part of a racketeering enterprise?" He noted 6 of Combs' 7 children were in the courtroom. I noticed during a break, Combs passed a folded up note that one of his daughters opened, saying, "I love you and appreciate you so much." At times, Agnifilo was incredulous and made light of all of the baby oil and Astroglide that was seized, saying of law enforcement, "Way to go, fellas." He told jurors the crime scene is your private sex life. This isn't about justice. This isn't about a crime. It's about money, he said, bringing up Cassie Ventura's civil lawsuit against Combs. He said this is a case about love, jealousy, infidelity, and money. He didn't do the things he's charged with, Agnifilo told jurors. He didn't kidnap anybody. He didn't obstruct justice. He didn't do these things. Of freak-offs, described as drug-fueled sexual encounters with male escorts, Agnifilo said it wasn't sex trafficking. This was their life. No one's forcing her to do this. She's a woman who actually likes sex. Good for her. She's beautiful. She should. It's a lifestyle. You want to call it swingers, you want to call it threesomes, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is, he said. That Ventura and Combs had, quote, one of the great modern love stories. She was always free to leave, he told the jury. After the defense closing, it will be the government rebuttal, and then the judge will charge the jury.
The jury got to come with a verdict. And when the juries come with a verdict, they the only ones that seen the freak off. They the only ones seeing, the only people seeing, yo, them juries probably looked at that tape and was like, God damn. Just imagine what they seen on that tape. Put yourself in the jury armchair right now. Put yourself in that court, right? Y'all see the freak off tape. Now y'all done seen Cassie all on the stand. Oh yeah, I was against this, I was against that. All this little sad story though she's telling us. Even though she kind of say that she participated in a lot of little situations, with a lot of situations also, but a little bit it was also sad. Saying that Diddy forced her to do this, Diddy threatened her to do this, Diddy threatened her for her life, all this, alleged, all that shit she was. Then you look at the tape, right? You don't see her take the stand. So now you a jury, you look at the tape. You see this girl smiling, running around in the freak off, having a great time. Because like I told y'all, they focus on the person that was on the stand. They focus on other people also. But they really focus on a witness that took the stand. That's Cassie. That's his ex. That's his ex. So you see her all in the freak offs running around having a, yeah, I can't believe she having a great time and shit, getting back blown out, all types of shit. Oh, come on, allegedly. But I get what I'm saying. Legs all in the sky, hands in the sky. I mean, positions all types of ways. And imagine what them people seen in that goddamn video. After this girl done took the stand and tried to play this crazy ass victim, bro, like she was, know what I mean? Like she was, and I know some people gonna say, nah, Smoke, you gotta understand, sometimes love can get crazy. The females gonna be like, nah, Smoke, you gotta understand. You know how they be too. So I understand, ladies. My voice a little cracky right now, but y'all get what I'm saying, ladies. Y'all be bugging out also. Y'all gotta understand, females could be bugged out, and y'all know that. Some females could get up. But I mean, they could get obsessed. They could be out of control. They want control of the situation. They see they millionaire dude named Diddy hanging out with other females. They get good. I mean, they get jealous. So we know females can get like that. So sometimes they would spray a little extra lies and throw a little extra on top to make it look spicy. Oh, he did this and this. But then when you look at the video, it's a whole different story though. Then when you go back and hear about the escort, Mr. Punisher, yeah, you know, Miss Cassie told me to do A, B, C, and D on her. He didn't say Diddy told him to do it. He said Cassie was telling him to do that shit. He said Diddy was sitting on the couch over there just looking with a whole goddamn mask on. Am I lying? I sit back and wait on that. We forgot about that. The homie Diddy was on the goddamn couch looking, you know, doing what you I already know the vibes. He wasn't telling homie to do it. The dude took the stand and said, man, Cassie was telling me to do everything on her. A, B, C, and D. That part. I sit back and wait. While the homie Diddy on the couch over there acting like a whole goddamn y'all a weirdo. Y'all already know how. But anyway, that's their private life. But they haven't proven nothing yet. They only gave us one little RICO charge that's part of the RICO charge, and that's paying the little entertainers, escorts, whatever you want to call them across state lines. Me, that's only like 5 to 10 years right there, bro. Plus, he got time served. Might sit down for a few months, come home, have a little federale probation. That's the way it's looking. They might do a hung jury, to be honest. But we ain't done. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, I want y'all to peep this out. This is how crazy the outside court was. You got people on the outside saying, yeah, look how, yo, you got this lady screaming at Lil Diddy, Lil King Combs, you know, Diddy little son. Yo, this here the background of what people saying to them. Just this one lady, she out of control. She saying, she said, I want you to pee on me and everything. You think I'm lying? Hey, yo, peep this out, gang. Peep this out. Hear the audio in the back on this. This Leo, whoever that lady is, shout out to her because she bugged out there in that court.
Justin, can I get a kiss? Justin, let me get a kiss. Justin, can you pee on me? Justin, let me get a kiss. Let me get a kiss, Justin. Can I get peed on? Let me get peed on. I want to get peed on. Where the peak off at? I want to get peed on.
Bonnie, chill, man.
Where the baby oil?
Bonnie, chill.
Where the baby oil? I want to get peed on. Where the baby oil?
OOTAONGO on YouTube.
Is that Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, man,
Where the
they gotta
baby
pass
oil?
by now. Mama, come
Hey,
on.
mama. Where the baby oil at? Hey, mama, where the baby oil at? Where the baby oil? I want to get peed on.
Mama Combs, I love you.
Can I get peed on?
You like this. Brother, I'm not moving over. You blocking my shot right here.
I want to get
I
peed
gotta
on.
spit.
Where the baby oil?
My mom.
Hey,
I'm
Mama
not going
Combs.
nowhere, bro. Look at me not move yet.
Mama Combs, can I get some money? Can I get some money? Can I get some? And I don't want to get peed on.
That's my mom.
And then I want to get peed on after I get some.
Hey, yeah. Yo, you can't make this shit up, man. I swear, yo, gang, y'all can't, yo. She said, I want to get paid off. She said, Mama Combs, can I get some money? She said, you give me some money, I don't want to get paid off. Oh, shit, yo. Shout out to that bugged out lady outside the court, whoever the hell that was, because that lady is crazy, yo. But let's continue with this Diddy case, man. Y'all can get a little more inside what happened in the court, that part. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Y'all already know the vibes, man.
It happened. However, Cassie sent a text message after she left from with Diddy and said, I really enjoyed my time with you. I wasn't expected to do anything. And the defense is saying that she tried to say this whole grape story because her now husband was FaceTiming her at the time and she did not want to admit that she had slept with Diddy again. Now, the prosecution did get upset and mentioned to the judge during break that the defense had made some
Oh, hold up, Park. My bad, gang. I went way ahead of it.
The defense said they hope that Jane is having a great day at home.
Now we good. Now, this is the day I done messed up on that last part of me. That's the second part. But anyway, in the beginning of this, she's going to explain that how Diddy lawyer went bonkers in court. Start talking about Jane, whatever, Jane Doe, whatever, 50 Cent, baby mom, whatever, he start going crazy. Peep this out, Smash. It's a little more insight of what happened in the goddamn courtroom in there. Because it's looking real good on Diddy behalf, to be honest. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. According to everybody I've been listening to. Smash that like.
The defense said they hope that Jane is having a great day at home while she sits in the house that Diddy is paying for. And they also said that Cassie was the one who asked to be urinated on. The defense has finished their closing arguments, and here are a few points that they made. They first said that this is the best the prosecution could do with this serious case. This is the best that they could do. Said they told y'all about arson of a car, but they didn't tell you that the people never really investigated that arson and that a DNA profile was found and it came from a female. Said they're telling you that Diddy allegedly kidnapped Cassie at one point when he put her in a hotel and she was not to leave that hotel, but they're not telling you that he put her there for her safety. They were having a bad moment in their relationship and she was trying to go to Diddy's house with him, but instead he told her no and asked the security to take her to a hotel and make sure that she was safe. They also mentioned that they're trying to say that Diddy was distributing drugs and talking about all these drugs that he had, but they never found a large amount. It was only personal use amounts that they found, and that multiple people, including those two victims, stated that Diddy had a drug problem. So then they talk about where Cassie said that she was raped by Diddy. So in her lawsuit, she said it happened in September. In court, she said it happened in August. But also in court, she said that she willingly slept with Diddy in October. Now, when they go back, the alleged incident is supposed to have happened in September.
Let's continue.
The defense didn't happen. However, Cassie sent a text message after she left from with Diddy and said, I really enjoyed my time with you. I wasn't expected to do anything. And the defense is saying that she tried to say this whole grape story because her now husband was FaceTiming her at the time and she did not want to admit that she had slept with Diddy again. Now, the prosecution did get upset and mentioned to the judge during break that the defense had made some improper statements because they basically asked the jurors, ask yourself, why are they really charging Diddy for this stuff? Why are they putting this on him? And they said that that was improper and the judge agreed. So the judge had to let them know, like, hey, it's not your job to figure out why anybody is being charged with what. Just look at the evidence and make your decision. They then brought up the Intercontinental Hotel bribery situation where they stated that that was not bribery. That was him trying to protect he and Cassie's image. They did not need that information getting out. They did not want to mess up their careers. And both of them wanted that video to disappear. They talked about the witness tampering situation where Mia said that D-Rock, Diddy's security guard, reached out to her via text and tried to offer her money and she turned it down. He said that what they're not telling you is he offered her money because she had reached out to him previously and stated that she was out of money, that she was low on funds, and they had a close relationship, so that's why the money was offered. Y'all, this is officially over. The prosecution might do a rebuttal. However, they're going to give jury instructions today and deliberation is set to start on Monday. If any of that changes or if anything big happens with the prosecution.
Now, y'all heard D-Rock. D-Rock is, y'all remember D-Rock, that's Big Best Friend, whatever. Y'all know D-Rock. Do y'all homework. That's D-Rock off of Junior Mafia. That's Big Best Friend, whatever. He ran with Puff for all these years, whatever. He know a lot of shit, too. And a lot of shit that I'm trying to explain here is, if they're going to hit this dude with any type of federale case, not a state, not no domestic, none of that shit we've been hearing, and we're going to get to Judge Mathis, he going to break this whole shit down to y'all. Because, like I said, the only thing they're going to hit Diddy with is probably flying the entertainers, the escorts, whatever you want to call them, back and forth to the parties and whatever, state to state. That's the only thing. And plus, I think they got proof that he was paying them off his company money or somehow, some way, something like that, whatever. If they do, pardon me, see they getting paid off his company money, that's gonna look a little nasty. But compared to all the charges that he was getting accused of, like, we done heard so much shit. What happened to the baby oil drugged up and all this liquid shit? It was none of that getting presented. The only thing they got on Diddy's absolutely is the flying the people across the states, the escort, and all that type of shit. But see, we only got, yo, I'm gonna keep it real. There's only but so much you can talk about on this case because they really haven't proven nothing to us, man. We can't sit here and just start making up shit and all this. Not we only talking about the shit they presented us in court, and they absolutely presented us nothing, nothing. Compared to the first rumors and allegations that was getting spread around when they raided his house and all this type of shit, the tunnels and the trafficking people through the tunnels. Come on, those was all them allegations we heard. We're gonna sit back and act like we don't remember that shit now. Tunnels, liquid oil on baby oils, on pills getting dropped on champagne getting drugged up. All these allegations we was hearing, ain't none of this shit get presented in court. None of it. That's why one of Diddy lawyers went up there and went crazy on him. Like, yo, the only thing they presented was nothing but free calls and domestic, and it's all state. Got nothing to do with federality besides the little flying back and forth. That's probably the weakest shit they could give him right now as far as the charges. Compared to the other charges they was trying to give him. I don't see Diddy getting on 20 years. I see a hung jury. But let's get to Judge Mathis so y'all can understand a little bit more clearer about this whole situation. Smash the like, must subscribe to the channel. Peep what Judge Mathis had to say.
Based on what you know about the Diddy case right now, with all the evidence, and obviously there's no evidence from the defense, they're resting their case. What do you think will happen to the jury?
Well, since there's no state crime being involved, which is where all the criminal activity, the assaults on women, the arson, all that occurred, that's state. And this federal crime, this RICO crime, I believe that thus far all they've proven, and they've rested their case. I think they only proved the Mann Act, and that is flying interstate transportation for prostitutes. Perhaps drug use, drug possession, based on all the witnesses that have said they brought drugs from across state lines. If the deliverer of the drugs, in which I think there's an admission that the drugs were brought from cross state lines, then it becomes federal. And in that case, possession, in my opinion, not distribution.
Exactly. Oh, we're going to continue. There's more to go. That's possession. That's personal use and all that shit, not distribution and all. Didn't I just say that about 10, 15 minutes ago in this goddamn video? They ain't got no videos of people doing hand-in-hand selling drugs and all this type of shit, pills and everything. They ain't got none of that going on in the free calls. And plus, we don't know what the hell the jury's seen in the free call tapes. Like I said, they seen Cassie having a great, phenomenal time in the videos. I'm telling y'all right now, she probably was smiling legs up, smiling back, getting blown. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. What are federality charges? Besides just flying an escort service, whatever you want to call that. That's the best they got. That's the waste of time they get. All this waste of time that we think we're gonna get to some murder cases and all this shit, tunnels and all this shit that was putting on Diddy. Let's stop it. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
The charges are the RICO, and then sex trafficking and prostitution.
Well, there you have it. All I hear then is prostitution, interstate transfer of prostitutes.
Right. But at the end of the day, and I've interviewed one of the male escorts, Punisher, and well, number one, he was not trafficked. You know, he was just paid. He was already living in New York. He would go about a dozen times, meet with them and have their free costs and so forth. I asked him, do you feel like you were trafficked? He said, absolutely not.
Well, see, there's different things. You got trafficking, and then you got interstate transfer of prostitutes.
Right.
And so trafficking, yes, he wasn't, but he was a prostitute that crossed state lines and received monies. And that's what I think he will be found guilty of. That's perhaps the only federal crime I think he should be found guilty of, but it's because it certainly doesn't amount to RICO. The things that they've attempted to prove, they did not prove enough to connect it to a RICO case, a continuing criminal enterprise.
I totally agree on that.
Thank you, Judge Mathis. Thank you. Shout out to Judge Mathis, man, for even breaking it down. Oh, we got two more to go in, though. That's not a RICO. That's just a federal charge. That's it. Let me repeat myself. Let me pedal back. Oh, yeah, I sit back and wait on that. For the people that don't understand, for some people that do understand. I know the people that do understand, shout out to y'all. But for the people that don't understand, he's just going to get charged with one federal charge, not a RICO act. Because they haven't shown nothing else as far as a RICO. So, like Judge Mathis, like he said, there it is. He's gonna get charged with the one federal charge, but not the RICO. Come on, man. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time, bro. Let's continue. Smash the like button.
Bad Boy is not a mafia organization.
Correct.
That's just, like trying to present to the world that it's a real company, but really they're like extorting and trafficking drugs. It's a real company.
That's exactly what they're trying to suggest.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
I think they're going back to the kids down in Atlanta. That, by the way, they were exonerated, I believe, one or two of them.
YSL case.
Yeah, YSL case where, their company was actively, allegedly.
BMF was a drug business.
Yeah,
we all know
right.
this. It is what it is. There's a TV show about it.
Right.
It is what it is. Yeah, but Bad Boy, Ciroc, Sean John, these are actual real companies.
Absolutely.
And it just so happened that the owner of the company
is a freak.
Was a
and
freak.
A dope fiend.
And, was a dope fiend.
He ain't a dope fiend. He likes
was having his
free.
assistants, get hotel rooms and so forth. But listen, I got a bunch of employees.
Right.
If I tell my assistant to go book a hotel room for me, and I engaged all types of weird freakiness in there, he can't be charged for it. And he can't, I can't say that he was part of this conspiracy. He just booked a hotel room. Well, let me ask you a question, because the charges are racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and then transportation to engage in prostitution. What exactly is the difference between the sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion and transportation to engage in prostitution? Seems like it's almost the same thing.
Not really, because sex trafficking is essentially, that's the coercion, where you're coercing a woman to go across state lines to have sex with someone. Is similar to pimping.
In this case, it's not a woman, it's men.
Okay, it's similar
right?
to...
It's the men. It's
true.
the men.
But it's similar. Trafficking is like pimping.
Right, but do you think that...
This isn't trafficking.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So sex trafficking, none of the men are going to say that they were forced to engage in this horrible act of having sex with Cassie.
No.
Oh my God, I have nightmares over this. It was so bad. Boo-hoo.
I'll take 1 year for that.
That's right.
I'm just kidding.
We would have all done it for free, all right, including the escorts. It is what it is. Okay, so that one's getting thrown out the window, you think?
Shout out to D. Shout out to Vlad, man. Shout out to Judge Mathis for breaking that down. Shout out to them both. Because like I told y'all, they only gonna charge for one federality charge. That's it. The RICO Act, that shit, the RICO charge, that shit gone. They rid all the other case. That shit is finito. That shit done. So now they gotta come with a jury. The jury gotta come with obviously got to come up with something to a point that it's gonna they got to try to ignore the escort transportation and all that. Him paying the escort dude and all that to do the sexual act. If the jury's gonna ignore that, they can actually find them not guilty. But if they do try to pardon me again, they do try to pay attention on that part, they're just gonna charge them for one federal act. For one federal charge. That's it. And it was a waste of goddamn time, to be honest, for all this month and some change for this trial to be going on damn near 2 months, and that's the only charge I'm going to give them. And the only thing y'all gave us was a whole bunch of domestic and freak off cake, whatever, situations and topics and shit like that. That's all y'all gave us. I don't see Diddy getting smoked out his boots out of this. The worst I can see happen, to be honest, is a hung jury. That's it. If you don't get found out guilty, you're going to get a hung jury. That's exactly what's going to happen on this case. Because they screwed up on the case. They screwed up on the RICO case. Not Diddy. They did. Why you think Diddy team never brought no witness to the stand? They said, shut it down. We done. Y'all screwed up. That shit weak as hell. We're gonna make this the jury to decide to make the decision on this. And we're gonna make sure the jury understand that what y'all was presenting in court was all domestic state cases. Nothing federal, besides paying the escort dude. And the part with Cassie, she ain't say nothing, no criminal shit. When them people seen that video, she was having a hell of a great time in that goddamn video, probably. Allegedly. Come on, man. Let's cut the shenanigans out. That's why I said there ain't too much to talk about on this Diddy case. It really ain't. Like I said, over here, Smoke News, I want to hear about the spicy shit. I want to hear about the Biggie Smalls and the Tupac and all this shit we was hearing about Diddy was involved in. The murder charges, the murder for hire, whatever the hell you want to call it. With Big Gene and all these other niggas be doing these interviews, talking all these criminal acts. Not no state, domestic, toxic relationships. Once again, before I get out of here, all the people that's getting money off of Diddy, all his bodyguards and shit, they all speak about criminal acts. Where the hell that shit was presented at in this court? And why them niggas ain't take the goddamn stand? Come on, man. This shit is nasty work. But shout out to Diddy. We'll get it verdict by Monday, Wednesday, the latest probably. We'll see what happened, y'all. Until then, on to the next video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all comment, give me y'all smoke. What y'all think gonna happen to Diddy? Not guilty, hung jury. What y'all think? What's the smoke gonna be to y'all, man? Y'all think Diddy gonna walk out there, you know what I mean, chilling, or y'all think he's gonna get a hung jury? Till then, we'll find out. I'm up out there, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. It's your boy Smoke News TV, man. If they know, it's your boy Smoke, man. I'm up out here, man. Salute, gang.